Hey everyone, welcome back to English in Real Life, where English feels simple and real. I'm Vicky.
And I'm Vince.
Today's episode is about a question you hear everywhere. Tell me about yourself.
At a new job, a new class, or when you meet someone new.
If you want to speak confidently about yourself, this episode is for you.
Because this one simple question can start a real conversation.
Before we go any further, let's talk about something important.
Seriously, a lot of people feel the same way. Even people who speak English pretty well.
Yes, sometimes your mind just goes blank. You know words. You know English, but suddenly nothing comes out.
Or you start thinking, is this correct? Is this too simple? Am I boring?
Exactly. And then the moment feels heavy.
So if that's you, take a breath. There's nothing wrong with you.
This question sounds easy, but it's actually very personal. You're talking about you.
And when it's about you, the pressure feels higher.
Especially in a new place, a new job, a new class, new people.
You don't want to sound strange. You don't want to sound awkward. You don't want to make mistakes.
But here's the truth, most people aren't judging you.
They're just curious.
Or they're nervous too.
Honestly, half the time the other person is thinking, what should I say next?
Not is your English perfect.
And another important thing, you don't need a perfect answer.
You don't need a long story.
You don't need fancy words.
A simple, real answer is more than enough.
English in real life is not a test.
It's just people connecting.
And conversations are built step by step. One sentence. One small detail.
One follow-up question.
That's it.
Also pause for a second. It's okay to think.
Yes. Silence is not a problem.
You can smile, you can say, you can say, good question.
Native speakers do that all the time.
So today, we want you to relax.
This episode is not about being impressive.
It's about being comfortable.
Friendly.
Natural.
We'll keep everything simple.
Short sentence, useful words. Real situations.
No pressure, just small steps you can actually use. And by the end of this episode, you'll have something ready.
Not memorized, not perfect.
But real.
And that's exactly what people want to hear.
So now that we're feeling a bit more relaxed, let's talk about what we're actually going to do today.
Yes, because having a simple plan makes everything easier.
Exactly. When you know what's coming, your brain can relax.
No surprises, no stress, just a clear path. So here's the plan for this episode. First, we'll start with something very small, a quick starter pack. Just a few useful words and phrases.
Words that real people use all the time, not fancy. Not academic. Just natural, everyday English.
These words help you sound more relaxed when you talk about yourself. And they also give you time to think, which is very important.
After that, you'll hear a real-life scene, a normal situation, to people meeting, talking casually. And yes, you'll hear "tell me about yourself" in action. You'll notice something important there. Nobody gives a perfect answer.
Nobody speaks for 2 minutes without stopping. There are pauses, small reactions, short follow-up questions. That's how real conversations work. After the scene, we'll slow things down. We'll talk about what you just heard. Not grammar rules, not long explanations, just simple observations, like what sounded natural, why did it feel comfortable?
And what made the conversation continue, because that's the real goal, not giving a perfect speech, but keeping the conversation alive. Then comes one of the most important parts, practice. But don't worry, this is not homework, and not a test. It's a short, friendly practice, 1 to 3 minutes.
Practice, but don't worry, this is not homework and not a test. It's a short, friendly practice, 1 to 3 minutes. Something you can do right now or later today. You'll build your own answer step by step using simple sentences, your name, where you're from, or where you live.
What you do. And one small detail. That's it. You can say it out loud, or quietly to yourself. You can repeat it. change it, make it feel like you, and finally, we'll wrap everything up.
With a short summary, just the key ideas, things you can. All right, before we jump into the real-life scene, let's slow down for a moment. Yes, this is the calm before the conversation part. Think of it like stretching before you walk, or warming up before you speak. Exactly. We're not starting the conversation yet. We're just getting ready, and we'll keep it simple, no pressure. No memorizing, just a few small tools you can use right away. So here's your quick starter pack. Only 3 small but powerful words. These words don't change your grammar. They change how your English feels.
More relaxed, more natural, more human, and they give you thinking time, which is very important when someone says, "Tell me about yourself."
Let's start with the first word. Word number 1. Actually, this is a very common word in real English. Native speakers use it all the time. Actually often means to be honest. Or in real life, it's useful when you want to sound natural, or when you want to correct a small idea, or when you just want to slow down.
Let's give a few examples. I'm actually a little nervous. I actually moved here last year. I actually like this city. Notice something. These sentences are very simple, but they feel real. You don't need to use actually in every sentence.
First thing to notice, nobody gave a perfect answer. There was no long speech, no memorized introduction, no pressure to say everything. I didn't say my whole life story. You said just enough. Name.
Where you're from, where you live now, what you do, and one fun detail. That's it, and that's more than enough for a real conversation.
Let's talk about the fun details, like the dance studio. Exactly. That detail wasn't important information, but it made the answer interesting. It gave the other person something to react to.
I didn't say, "Oh, interesting." You asked questions, because now the conversation had energy. One small, real detail is better than 5 boring facts.
Another important thing, sentence length. Most sentences were short, very short, and that's good. Short sentences are clear.
Easy to say, easy to understand. You don't need complex sentences to sound confident. Confidence comes from comfort.
Did you notice the pauses? There were small pauses, breathing, thinking.
That's normal. You don't need to answer immediately. A short pause does not mean bad English. It means you're human.
Let's talk about the small words. Words like actually and by the way. These words help your English feel softer, more natural, less like a presentation. When you say actually, you sound honest.
When you say by the way, you add personality. You're not just giving facts, you're sharing.
Here's a big secret. You don't need to talk a lot. You just need to ask one small question. Why? Oh, really? How about you? That's it. Follow-up questions keep the conversation alive, and they take pressure off you.
One last thing. Confidence doesn't come from talent. It comes from repetition, saying it again and again out loud. That's why practice matters.
So let's summarize. Keep it simple, short sentences, one fun detail, ask a follow-up question, and don't rush. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be real, all right. Now it's your turn. This is the practice part. But don't worry, this is not a test. Nobody is watching, nobody is judging. This is just for you, and it's short, 1 to 3 minutes. That's it.
Before you start speaking, do one small thing. Sit comfortably, or stand whatever feels good. Take a slow breath in, and breathe out. Relax your shoulders. Your English does not need to be perfect. It just needs to be yours.
Here's the plan for your answer, only for parts. Very simple. You can remember this anywhere. Part 1, your name. Part 2, where you're from or where you live. Part 3, what you do. Part 4, one thing you like or one small detail. That's all. You don't need to add more. If you want to later, you can, but not now.
Let's start with a very simple example. Listen first. My name is Alex. I'm from Florida. I live in a small town. I'm a student. I like soccer. That's it. Short sentences. Clear, friendly, nothing extra.
Now pause the podcast. Say your version out loud. Just like that. Say it once.
Great. Now let's make it sound more natural. We'll add one soft phrase. You can choose one. actually. Or by the way, or I kind of, just one.
Listen again. Hi, I'm Taylor. I'm from New York, but I live in Phoenix now. I'm a teacher. I like coffee and movies. Actually, I'm new here. Notice something. The extra sentence is small, but it feels real. Pause again. Add one soft phrase to your answer. Say it out loud.
Now comes the fun part, one small detail, not a big story, just something human. It can be a hobby, a pet, food you like, something you don't like, a small change in your life, just one.
Listen, my name is Chris. I live in Dallas. I'm an engineer. I like music. By the way, I don't like very spicy food. That last sentence makes it personal. It gives the other person something to react to. Pause one more time. Add one small detail to your answer.
Now imagine the other person is listening. You finish your answer, and then silence. This is a great moment to ask a question. One small question. You don't need a big one. You can say, "How about you? What about you, and you?" Or, "Do you like it here? How long have you lived here? What do you do?" These questions are simple and very powerful.
Listen to this full example. Hi, I'm Sam. I'm from Canada, but I live here now. I work in marketing. I like walking and podcasts. Actually, I'm still learning the city. How about you? That's a real conversation starter, not a speech. Now say your full answer one last time with your name, your place, your job or studies, one small detail, one follow-up question. Take your time.
If you felt stuck, that's okay. That means you're learning. You can always keep it simpler. Even this is enough. My name is, I live here, I'm a, nice to meet you. Simple is strong.
Remember, this is not about sounding impressive. It's about sounding comfortable. Real conversations grow slowly, one sentence at a time. And every time you practice, it gets easier. All right, let's wrap things up. Yes. If you're still here, great job. You listened, you practiced, and most importantly, you showed up for yourself. That already matters.
Let's quickly remember what we did today. Nothing complicated, nothing overwhelming. Just real English for real life. We talked about one very common question. Tell me about yourself. And we learned something important. This question is not a test, it's an invitation to connect. You don't need a perfect answer. You don't need big words. You don't need to talk for a long time. You just need a few simple things. Your name,
Where you're from or where you live, what you do, one small detail, and one follow-up question. That's it.
We also talked about confidence, and here's the key idea. Confidence doesn't come from knowing everything. It comes from feeling comfortable, comfortable with pauses, comfortable with simple sentences, comfortable with being human. You're allowed to think, you're allowed to pause, you're allowed to say, "Good question." English doesn't have to be fast, it just has to be real.
The best part, you can use this today at work, in class, at a cafe, online, anywhere someone asks you that question. And even if nobody asks, you can practice it for yourself, out loud, in your head, while walking, or making coffee.
One small reminder before we go, your English does not need to sound like a native speaker. It needs to sound like you. Your accent is okay. Your mistakes are okay. Your simple sentences are okay. People remember how you make them feel, not how perfect your grammar was.
Now it's your turn again. But this time, write not speak. Go to the comments and write one or two sentences about yourself. Just one or two. For example, hi, I'm Maria. I live in Madrid. I'm a nurse. I like long walks.
Or, my name is Ken. I'm from South Korea. I work in IT. Actually, I love podcasts. Keep it simple. Keep it real. We really want to read them. And if you feel shy, remember, everyone here is learning too.
If this episode helped you, please follow the podcast, share it with a friend who's learning English, or someone who hates this question as much as we do. It really helps us keep going, and it helps other learners feel less alone.
Thank you for spending this time with us. We're really glad you're here. Keep practicing just a little, one sentence at a time, one conversation at a time. You're doing better than you think. See you in the next episode. Bye everyone.
Bye.